Well, I'm continuing my great conversations with the winners from the Shelton Mason County Chamber of Commerce Awards this year, and I'm with Rookie of the Year, Megan Homewood from House Flowers here on Cota. We are at Marmo, just down the street, 2 doors down from House Flowers, in a great location in downtown. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Great. Good to see you again, and congratulations on your big award.
Thank you.
You have been open since July of 24, and then in that time there, you're kind of figuring things out and getting things ready, and then about a year ago, you decided to take the plunge and make this your full-time profession.
That's right.
And I got to tell you, these are beautiful flowers here at Marmo. They're always here, and they look gorgeous. I was just reading some posts online this morning that they were asking, where do I get flowers, or I need flowers for something? And a few different commenters were like, oh yeah, Megan, House Flowers, you got to go to her.
Aww.
She knows what she's doing, and she
That's
looks great. So tell me a little bit about how this last year and a half has been for you, kind of diving into this so deep.
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, obviously a little scary to, take the plunge full time to a little flower shop in Shelton. But we're making it work. Lots of sort of changes and trying to manage my time. I'm kind of a one-woman show,
right.
And I also grow a lot of the flowers. So coming into this second season, I'm feeling a lot more prepared than I was this time last year.
Sure.
I think I got a little bit more routine and figuring out when to do what and how to get it all done.
It is just a small little storefront, but you do a lot of work here too. You've got different flower workshops. You've got one coming up here soon, and there's always a great way you can find those and sign up for those. How has the public responded to having a flower shop in town?
People are so kind. They come in and I watch their faces, sort of like they're really surprised that the shop is in Shelton. I guess they say, "Wow, I didn't even know you were here." Is the thing I hear the most. But people love flowers. I mean, it's hard to go wrong, and then also just that I am able to source locally and support other little businesses. And when I'm able to share that with people, they really respond positively and are interested in sort of the larger mission of the work.
You mentioned that you grow a lot of these yourself. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's definitely been a learning curve for me. I hadn't really grown a flower until I moved here about 6 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was a full-time designer, so I come at it from the florist world, not the farmer world, which a lot of farmer florists go the other way. They start growing flowers and then they say, oh, I got to figure out what to do with them. And I knew what to do with them, but I didn't know how to grow them. And so I've been learning along the way a lot, learning a lot. Yeah.
What are some of the, we talk about the great environment here, like the soils and the water and the air. How does that make growing flowers a good thing in Shelton, Mason County? What is it about this area?
Yeah, well, we're zone 9. We're able to have some hardy perennials that a lot of other places can't have. Dahlias particularly really thrive here, and people love them so much. And what's interesting about that is they don't ship well. So we have an amazing resource in that we can grow these beautiful, delicate blooms and get them to people, whether it's in a wedding or have a class about them or just on their kitchen table. And they're not going through that super challenging shipping process. They're not getting boxed up. They're not getting trucked or flown or whatever. And so just being able to grow, beautiful, unique, delicate flowers and share them with the community here is really the coolest part, I think. Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about some of the other ways that you get the word out about House Flowers. I mentioned some of the classes that you do here and things like that.
Yeah, we've got a whole year of classes scheduled. I'm so excited about this programming. It's each month we're going to focus on what's blooming the most in that time period. And it's sort of a combination of like floral history, maybe what's the meaning of the flower, how did it get here, also how to grow. So gardening tips, that kind of thing. And then we'll make an arrangement that's just focused on that type of flower. So the next one coming up is April 4th, and it's for tulips because they're going to be going bonkers. So classes, I'm going to be at the Olympia Wedding Expo this weekend.
Oh, wow.
At the Capital City Barn. So that's a great place to kind of talk to me about events, stuff like that. I'm at the shop Thursday through Sunday. So yeah, lots of different ways to find out about all the things.
When we were down there, you kind of showed me how to make a creation that was beautiful, and it was a heck of a lot of fun, kind of one of our first times doing something like that. And I did notice, like you mentioned, you do have kind of some shelf space for some of your partners that you help show off. Who do you work with? What do you choose? Who you choose? Things like that.
Yeah, I try really hard to source locally and support other local artists. So Molly Wheatbaker is one of the people that I've been sort of working with for a long time. She painted our sign. She painted the mural in the shop, and she's got artwork there. There's a couple of jewelers that are local to the Olympia region, perfumers, stuff like that. So I try to source really locally and be mindful of, sustainability practices, all that kind of stuff. So,
what's your kind of reach? You mentioned the Olympia wedding, but I know people go there and they are wherever. You talked about the dahlias being not necessarily able to travel well, I suppose. Are you focused mostly on Shelton and Mason County, or is it into Olympia a little bit? Or
yeah, well, as far as the growing, like where I source from, that's all over the Puget Sound. There's a market in Seattle, which is a cooperative of small flower farmers. That's an amazing resource for florists here. Like, I don't know if it's totally one of a kind, but it's a really amazing resource. It's called the Seattle Growers Market, and they source all the way from Bellingham down into California in the winter months. And so I will use them as a resource to source.
So when you say that source, does that mean finding the bulbs that you want to plant on your own farm, or?
That's mostly I'm speaking in flowers that are already grown.
Oh, okay.
So flower farmers that bring product to the market, and then I can go and just sort of use my designer brain and shop as a designer there.
Sure.
So not really in the farmer sense. For stuff that I grow on my farm, there are amazing growers here that do seed saving and stuff like that. So like there's a farm in Olympia called Burfoot Farm.
Okay.
And she's up in the Boston Harbor area, and she does super small batch seed collecting. She's breeding cosmos, and she's a dahlia breeder. And so I got some seeds from her this year. There's pint-sized posies in Hoodsport. She's doing an incredible job breeding zinnias. Like, there are all these just super talented people that are right here doing really amazing stuff. So as much as I can, as local as possible.
In those first 6 months when you still had your job at Hama Hama, right? You worked there, and then about a year ago you decided to jump into this and make this the full-time. What was that like? What was
Scary.
Yeah,
but it felt good. I'd made some decisions. Basically what happened is I planted 2,000 tulip bulbs in the fall of 2024, and I was like, around about December, I was like, what am I going to do when all of these come up? Like, if I'm here, 40 hours a week, they're going to blow open in the field and I won't be able to use any of them. And so there was no way for me to continue to do both things at the same speed.
Right.
And I did it to myself, but I just couldn't help it. I guess it was one of those, like, you just find yourself in the place that you put yourself, I guess.
Well, good for you. I mean, that's I think a lot of folks have an idea, and for you to take that initial step and open the shop and then work hard and get good traction here downtown and then keep going for it. A lot of folks have those ideas and they're just kind of fearful of the comfort of their current profession that they want to dive
Yeah.
into this.
Well, and I mean, I was a professional florist, you know, full time for 15 years before I moved here. So I know the craft. And I think that helped me feel confident. I mean, being a business owner is a whole different kettle of fish than just being a florist,
right,
you know?
right.
So if anybody wants to help me with bookkeeping, I am interested. But yeah, you know, I know the flowers and I know what, you know, I know what to do with them and just familiar with the industry in that way. So.
What does a 2025 bouquet look like? Especially compared to kind of, you know, you look at houses, right, and they're built in the mid-2000s or whatever. They have certain features. Are flowers like that as well?
So trendy. Yeah, absolutely. There are some trends right now that I'll be honest, I'm not going to do. And
are these on like TikTok and things that people show off? Or?
Yeah, a lot of the like wedding Instagram, you know, there are people who are like, here are the trends for 2026.
Right.
And I feel like so one of the ones that I've seen is this trend where people aren't making a bouquet that you would hold like this. They're making like purses out of flowers. It's this like bridal accessory trend.
Okay.
And I think it's fun. Like it's got to be fun to make, and like it looks interesting in pictures. And I just wonder 10 years from now if people look back at their wedding photos and they say, What
was I doing?
What was I doing?
So would they throw the purse like behind their...
Well, a lot of times they may.
Okay.
But a lot of times the bouquets you see in big photos, you'll make a separate toss bouquet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so somebody doesn't get clocked in the head with a 30-pound bouquet. Yeah. But yeah, and you know, that's one of the things that I think that having this as much experience as I have has led me towards, is that I really sort of steer a little clear of some of the really trendy stuff, because I'll look back at photos of stuff that I did in 2007 and I'm going, oh my God, crystals on a branch, like, oh, I'm embarrassed,
right?
You know, and so I just try to stay really lush, romantic, gardeny, like let the flowers speak for themselves. They're so beautiful and you don't have to glue them to a bag to have them be stunning.
Right.
So yeah,
I love it.
Kind of the funny ones.
So what do you offer? Somebody's finding house flowers for the first time and they're like, I need a bouquet for blank. What do you do?
Yeah.
And what can people hire you out for?
Certainly. I do daily delivery. So if you have an event, life event, I guess you're celebrating someone had a baby, you know, whatever. Happy to make them a bouquet, deliver it. I deliver inside of Shelton. I deliver all the way to Olympia.
Okay.
So with enough notice, basically. And you can order on the website. That's all pretty straightforward. I do floral subscriptions. So if you wanted to have a bouquet delivered to your house every week, I can do that. Every other week, I can do that. Once a month, that's great too. All those are available on the website. And I also do events. So if you're engaged, going to get married, talk to me about the flowers, and anything from I just want a bridal bouquet and a boutonniere, you know, really small stuff, to full event design. So kind of a one-stop shop.
I love it. The email is hello@houseflowers.com.
Yes, that's correct.
And it's here on Cota in downtown Shelton. I'll put the links to the website and the address as well, so you can come down and visit in with Megan and talk with her. Also encourage you highly to join in on some of the classes they have here at Marmo and around the area to kind of show off all the great flowers that she does and brings in and puts forth. It's a fun night too. I mean, it's flowers and there's
so
talking and hanging out and things like that.
Yeah, people are so supportive of each other. That's one of my favorite things. Like people that come in with no experience. And just watching everybody be so kind to each other is like really heartwarming.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Yeah.
Well, super cool. Rookie of the Year. Nice to see, again, kind of a rejuvenation in downtown Shelton on Cota, especially as we are in the Arts District and working on how that all is taking shape here in downtown Shelton. House Flowers, definitely a spot to show up and talk with her about and grab some beautiful bouquets. And thank you for your time.
Thanks, Chuck.